And welcome, and thank you for choosing Simple Timesheet Calculator app. So just a really quick synopsis. Yeah, this app is really just geared toward users that need to calculate their time work, but really just don't feel comfortable, keeping the app installed. This app does not retain or save any data, so typically the users will just calculate their time, maybe send an email to themselves, and then uninstall the app. Um, so With that said, let's get into the new features. So for the existing users, this is new features to you. To you. Um, so one of the main limitations um, that this app had previously was it only allowed to calculate the time within a 24-hour period, really a 23-hour and 59-minute period. Um, so that constraint, was really seen on users that work the third shift. So this new feature now allows the user to select a date versus just a time now. So for instance, if let's say if I did work the third shift, okay, 39, 10:30 p.m. Okay, and then I took my first break, let's say at 1:45 a.m. So now this app will allow you to go through um, go through days now, go into the next day. Before um, it didn't allow that. Um, Another feature for those existing users out there, I'm just going to go through this. Uh, I will talk starting now. Okay, so the next feature is now the user can select 6 buttons versus 4. Previously, only 4 buttons were allowed. Um, Now a user can select up to 6 buttons. So typically for users that take more breaks than the current time, time clocked in, a 15-minute break, a lunch break, another 15-minute break, and then clock out. There's 2 additional pair of buttons to accommodate those users. All right. So so really quick, how to use. It's really simple. Just put the time in, AM or PM. Um, I'm sorry. So on on the time dialog, the user does have the ability to choose 2 different sets of dialogues. So you can use a spinner um, or um, just a tradition or the traditional um, clock. So and this is just user preference. Right? And then just put in the end date. And basically that is it. Really very intuitive. And then if you want to also add uh, an hourly rate, you can do that as well. Um, there is an email functionality here. Of course, this is using a virtual emulator, so that feature doesn't work um, with using a VM. But just to give a detailed overview, when you send an email to yourself, for instance, if you had selected 3 buttons um, with the start and time date and the app pay rate. This is basically how the email would look. So, and then you, the user, can manage those emails as well. All right, and so for So for the last discussion, let's just talk about some limitations. Okay. So, like we said previously, there is a 6 button limitation. So we saw that earlier in the video. Um, the next limitation is there is a limit on how many hours that the app can calculate in total. So, for instance, if the user tries to put in 2 months worth of data, right, that that does exceed the maximum hours allowed. So let's go. So here you can see, if you've worked over a month straight, you're able to calculate this out. Um, all right, so let's remove that. Another limitation. Let's put a start and end date. Let's see on the 20th, same time. So another limitation is that the start time has to always be less than the end time. So for instance, if we try to put a time greater than end time, the app will not permit that, and it will revert back to the current time, and vice versa. If we try to put an end time that's that's basically greater than the start time, then um, I'm sorry. Let me. If we try to put an end time that's greater, I'm sorry, not greater, that's less than the start time, we'll get the same the same error message. So let me um, let me repeat that because I did mess up. So if we try to enter in an end time that's less than the start time, in this case the start time is the 19th, so we'll put the 18th in. That is also not permitted, and will revert to the previous time set. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was informational. And if you do have any additional questions, comments, concerns, or additional features you would like to see in the future, please submit an email. The email is listed on the App Store. So I appreciate that, and thank you.